So, taking a break from wrestling, I'm going to talk about a hobby I've mentioned on this channel many, many times. I'm talking about board gaming. And Disney Villainous has been a game that I've very much enjoyed and had a lot of fun with, taught many people how to play. But I noticed that a trend happened during the Marvel Villainous. I've done videos comparing Disney and Marvel Villainous. I recommend checking them out. I think they're pretty well explained. There is a Star Wars one, which I have currently not played. Maybe I'll get to it someday, but as of right now, I want to talk about this because, as someone who has played this game so many times, I have often talked about, like, if I could release an expansion, what would the theme be and who would the characters be in it? Now, I had mentioned that this is something that Marvel Villainous had done, and that was after Marvel Villainous, I think it was they did one, maybe two, three-player expansions to their core five-character game. They released the Venom expansion for Marvel Villainous, and it was a standalone expansion, meaning it only had one character in the box, and you were paying at least I think you were paying roughly $20 for it. As far as getting the bang for your buck is concerned, I am not a fan of that at all. I think that is ridiculous, and I said at the time that if this is the road that Ravensburger is going to go with their characters, then I'm not going to get behind them because they're clearly trying to rip you off. This is the end result of they don't want to release bundles anymore. They want to release standalone character packs. And you know what? When it comes to games like Marvel Champions, or any game where you can release like character specific cards or something and throw them in the game, that's fine because that changes the dynamic of how the game is essentially played a little bit, I would say, more than this. But it looks like Disney Villainous is going to be getting another expansion. The last expansion to this was, I forget the name, and I would check the box, but I don't have any of the boxes here. I actually had to throw them out when we moved because they were taking up way too much room. The last Disney Villainous expansion, I think, came out March of last year, if not earlier than that, and they have not touched Disney Villainous since. There has not been a Disney Villainous anything since. It is the last anything Disney or Villainous related was the Venom expansion, which was a single character concept for $25. And just to kind of put in comparison, they originally sold the 6-character core bundle box for about $35-40, and they were selling the 3-player expansion packs for about $25 to $30 each. So now you're going to pay $20 to $25 for a single character, and that's it. Which to me, it's clear as day they're doing this for the sake of they're trying to cash in with as little effort as possible. At least I think it's little effort as possible. And now that they've kind of moved on to Star Wars Villainous, they've already announced the Scum and Villainy expansion. I don't know if it's out yet. I wouldn't be surprised if they release another single standalone expansion for Star Wars, and I'm sure that one's going to be a Star Killer, more than likely, because they're going to take a big fan favorite that everyone wants and everyone's been waiting for. They're going to release it in its own individual pack, and you're going to be paying almost $25 for it, depending on what platform you have to get it. And then, of course, there's the demand, so who knows. So they're back to Disney Villainous, which is a good thing for them because I really feel like Marvel Villainous was a misstep. It's not a bad game. I definitely feel it is inferior to Disney Villainous. And I was excited to hear this, but then I found out it is a First of all, Disney Villainous, Filled with Fright, Ravensburger, first single character expansion in its award-winning Disney Villainous franchise, is now available for pre-order on Target.com, featuring the character Oogie Boogie from The Nightmare Before Christmas. The expansion includes new mechanics inspired by the classic animated film. It can be played with any previously released Disney Villainous character. And I think it said on here... Hold on, I'm going to keep reading. Oogie Boogie is one of our most highly requested characters for Disney Villainous, so we are ecstatic for fans to finally immerse themselves in the Villainous story. So just for a frame of mind, if you were to buy just this character and a 3-player Disney expansion, you're going to be dropping at least $50 to $60, and you're only going to have 4 characters. Meanwhile, you get 2 standalone expansions, you're going to get 6 characters for about the same price. Maybe like $5 or $10 more. The game developer manager, said Mike Moldhill. We tried to be as authentic as possible, bringing his iconic dice to the game. So he's going to be using dice in the game, which I'll admit is interesting. It changes up how you play the game because now there's no other character that uses dice. Some villains in the game have different core mechanics and how you play them, and I do appreciate at least trying to be different. Obviously, you're going to take on Oogie Boogie. 2 dice. Okay, so it's going to be about a $15 game. $15 single-player expansion. It'll be out early October. So they've already admitted this is a massive fan favorite. And rather than put him in an expansion box with 2 other characters and put more content out there, they're doing it again. Ravensburger, come on. I understand. Like, I don't know why. Is it because that you think the lifespan of the game is slowing down? And I'd argue it doesn't have to. Even if they did like 1 expansion a year per franchise, you're still putting new life into the game. But single-player expansions are not the way to go. For $25, $30, I say again, you can get 3 players in an expansion module. The core game, which has 6 characters in it, retails for about $30 to $40. You're now paying a $15 plus tax for 1 character. I don't care how much I wanted the character. I don't care if it adds a whole new mechanic to it. And I don't care if it has a cool little Slimer piece in there. This is not what we're asking for. And then I guess, to kind of sum it all up, and then I'm going to go. You guys can say your piece in the comments if you want. The thing that really irritates me most of all is the fact that Ravensburger also announced Villainous 100, I think it's called, in which they're making the core game again minus 1 character, and it's going to be about a $40, $50 game. So you're going to pay more to get less. I think they took the Queen of Hearts out of there. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But it's like, you can tell they're getting lazy, and I'm tired of it.